Good evening, fellers. It is Wednesday. Not sure the date. I can't remember. Didn't look before I turned the camera on. So, middle of June. And as promised, I have a new to me brush to reveal. But before I do that, I'm going to go into the other hardware. Got my Keaton Cutter Royal ready to go. The soap for this evening will be Sella Extra Extra Purismo, and special treat myself to one of my favorite aftershaves, the Alt Innsbruck. Beautiful little aftershave. And dum da da da, the brush is a Yaqi 24 millimeter two-band Badger, I believe, that comes to me all the way from California by way of a pay it forward from John. You all know him as Deep Sea. So, muchas gracias there, Don. I happened to ask a few questions about Yaqi brushes on, God forbid here, I believe it was one of Mark B's posts, could be Mark B, about Badger brushes and such and all, and I just inquired about whether or not the Yaqi brushes, they were a pretty good price point, and I thought, well, maybe I'll give one of them a try. It's not big money, and see if I like Badgers and want to go down that rabbit hole, which, because all of mine, except I got the one bore and a couple of the synthetics, and I haven't really ventured into the whole brush realm, and now Barber Dave sets up this SV thing with that brush, which does look gorgeous and all that stuff, but as Nurse Dave would say, pow, you know, and then you look and you go, holy shit, that's a lot of money to pay for a brush. But exclusivity and all that stuff and top flight craftsmanship, I'm with you. You get what you pay for, and I'm down with that. So maybe on tonight's Zoom call, if I manage to get in on that, I know it's a little bit late, but I'm gonna maybe try to see if the salesman can make the sales pitch and convince me to spend my hard-earned lawn mowing money on a single brush. Or would I be better served to spend all that money on, oh, I don't know, a couple different SV soaps in my Nuavia Rossa, and then I have some soaps and some really nice aftershaves from SV to round out my stable of, you know, super duper nice soap. So that's the thought process that goes on in my head, good, bad, or indifferent. So here we go. So I can already tell you, this brush has bloomed out fat and is full of mucho soap. And I just soaked it for a little bit while I was getting everything ready. And then went ahead and made up my soap before I jumped in the shower. So it's nice and soft tips. You know, splays nice, has good backbone. So I would say this is a nice brush. Now, is it as nice as a, you know, name brand or a Paladin, I guess, or a Simpson Chubby, I think they are, or the SV brush and all? I don't know. Once again, I'll have to talk to people that are more knowledgeable than I on the brush front about what makes them the top end brushes top end, and what differentiates them and all that stuff. So, but I'm down with it. Like I said, it does look like a really pretty brush, and it would be cool to have. So, we shall see. So on the home front, if you guys are following in my journal, Nurse Dave was rather piqued curiosity about the door debacle. So at work, my wife just has a little Hyundai Elantra. Drew blood already. A 2010 Hyundai Elantra that happens to be white. And she got ran into by one of the patients there. Well, not the patient because she's a vet's office, but one of the patient's owners. And it dented in the door, and I couldn't get it popped back out. And that's awesome. So she was keen to not turn it into the insurance, and I didn't want to be a dude, a jerk, and get her hemmed up. So we went ahead. I took it up to my buddy, this guy Dave McMillan. He owns a body shop. I've known him for 30 years. Back when I was young, worked in the car business. He was one of our regular customers and all. I used to haul truckloads of car parts up there to him. He's north of here, about half an hour or so, closer to the PA line. Had him look at it, and so he tracks down 2 junkyards that have a white Hyundai Elantra with the driver's door that will work, that's compatible with my wife's. Gives me the information. God, I'm going like a stuck pig here. Too much talking. And then gives me an estimate on how much it would be if we have to get it painted to match, even though they're already white. Might have to get a little blending and that kind of stuff. So we passed this on to the lady that ran into her, this and that. She cuts us a check. We do it. Signs insurance company. And go from there. So fast forward to Monday this week. I decide, well, let me take a tape measure out there to the car, measure your driver's door dimensions, and then measure the openings and say to the back seat and to the trunk, and see whether or not I can finagle a new door into the back of the car, and we'll take the car instead of taking, god dang, I'm gonna need a transfusion when I get done here. Take the car up, because it's about, the one junkyard we were gonna go is up in Littlestown, PA, about 60 miles away from here. So, not that far, but not that close. So I decided I'd prefer to take the car instead of the truck. The truck gets, it's got a 350 V8 in it, and it's not going to get the greatest gas mileage. So I measure and I say, well, it's going to be tight. But I think I can get it in the back seat. I'm going to be confident and I can get it in the back seat. So off we go. And I'm thinking, well, the hypotenuse effect. I just got to get it started in, and then I'll be able to get it to drop down into the footwell. This looks like a horror show here. and drop it into the footwell. And I'll be able to motor on down the road with it and then swap it out. So we go all the way up there, and we get there. I go in, talk to the guy. I talk to you on the phone, blah, 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 this and that. So he says, well, we'll go in the back here. You can, now this is the funny part of this, well, not funny, but unique part of the story. We'll go out back here, and you can go out with Lafayette, and they'll help you get the door. So I says, Lafayette, huh? Okie doke. So we walk through the shop and out the back and into another building. Now this is an old junkyard, been around for a long time. So if you've ever been in junkyards, they're pretty rustic places. Not the kind of place where they really allow anybody from the EPA in. So here's a tin building, old Quonset hut building, with a dirt floor that is black. From the years of gear oil, engine oil, gasoline, antifreeze, grease, slag from torches, debris of all types and manner, maybe even blood, like off my lip. So the floor is black, and it's got almost a consistency of black concrete, and but it's dirt. And Lafayette is down inside the engine compartment of an old Chevy Tahoe, and as he peeks up out of the engine compartment of the Tahoe, I realized that the employer, the junkyard, doesn't have a Cadillac dental plan, doesn't have a Cadillac vision plan, doesn't have a Flowbee, and doesn't have a whole lot of access to items to clean up. So, anywho, Lafayette is introduced by the boss to me. I say, how you doing, buddy? And he proceeds to talk with an extremely thick, wait for it, Cajun accent, which was very highly, I was not stunned, but it's not something you really see in Pennsylvania Amish country. A dude named Lafayette with a Cajun accent. So, but it made a little bit more sense. As somebody down in Louisiana say, would be named Lafayette, and somebody up in central southern Pennsylvania. Or is that southern central Pennsylvania? That one little spot is just bleeding like a sun gun. So, we proceed to get into Lafayette's chariot. which was an old Chevy 1-ton pickup truck that had been converted by, I'm assuming maybe even himself, into a Mad Max type of tow truck. And he fired that mother up, sans exhaust, and away we go, bouncing down the dirt road to the back of the junkyard to row AA, where the 2007 Hyundai Elantra was, with my door. But as we're riding back, I gotta ask Lafayette, how, pray tell, did a nice young fella like him come to be at a junkyard in Maryland? And wouldn't you know it, the universal truth becomes apparent. He followed a girl up here. She runs through all of his money. Wrecks his car. And then kicks him to the curb. So now Lafayette is stuck in Pennsylvania with no money, no car, and needed to get a job. So the owner of the junkyard, guess what his name was? Just guess. You'll never guess. His name was Dave. Another Dave. How many did we got? I don't know. That's like the 10,000th Dave that I've met ever since on TSC. Seems like, anyway. Dave, Mr. Dave, as Lafayette called him, so gave him a job, gave him a Winnebago to live in, gave him some clothes, and paid him a week in advance so he could go out and get some dinner and go to the bar and try to forget about the hussy that had lured him up to Pennsylvania, 700-800 miles away from home, and then done him wrong. So, and that was 27 years ago. So, Lafayette is an extremely loyal fellow, and he found him a home in Pennsylvania. But he don't give no girls no money, and he don't let him drive his car. So he learned his lesson. Good on you, Lafayette. So, maybe he knows how to stop bleeding. So down the road, well, we get the door. I'm rambling really bad. 18 minutes, oh my God. I get the door, try to get it in the backseat of the car. It don't go. So now I'm feeling like a real nudnik. So I have to go in and tell Mr. Dave, I'm going to have to come back with my pickup truck tomorrow to get this door. He said, no problem. We'll be here 8 o'clock in the morning. Or if you get here before then, if you go ahead and pay now, you can come here before then. We'll just be leaning up against the side of the building. You can come on in, get it, put in your truck, and go ahead on down the road. And when I come here and I'm gone, I'll figure it was you that got it, because who the hell else wants it? I said, okie doke, will do. So go make a dump run first thing in the morning on Tuesday, yesterday. Get rid of all the stuff that's in the back of the truck from my son-in-law's house. And then head up to get the door. Get the door, come home. Get it put on. Then mow the lawn and mow my other lawns that I mow. Then go in and collapse onto the couch in a heap. Tired and done. But then really I wasn't really done, because then today I got to be head landscaper for my parents and go get a truckload of mulch and then spread said mulch over their hacienda where I grew up. Then, after I did that, went up and saw my buddy, guess what? Dave McMillan, the guy that owns the body shop that I've known for 30 years, another damn Dave, and drop off the car to him so he could blend and match the door. So then, once we got that done, we came home, and now I made breakfast for dinner. Bacon and pancakes this time. The wife wanted blueberry pancakes. And her door painted perfectly to match. So what mommy wants, mommy gets. So, that looks just terrible. It is just the smallest nick. That's because I drank a couple cups of coffee. I guess my blood pressure's up or something. I haven't bled like that in a long time. I called the medics. So, hope that story didn't bore all you guys. So, there you go, Nurse Dave. There's another story. Yeah, I guess she was bored the other day. Okay. So let me try to wrap this up a little quick. Verdict on the brush. Like the brush very much. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. I hope you like the items that I sent the other way. Oh, I forgot to add. John also threw in 2 5-packs of Gillette Silver Blue double-edged blades. Had I known he was going to do something like that, I would have been I would have fulfilled my normal Vashkod ambassadorship and sent some Vashkods on to see whether or not he had ever tried Vashkods and all. Very nice brush. I'm not sure why John wanted to PIF it, but I'm very grateful that he did. It will have a happy, useful home in the shade den here. Still trying to decide on whether or not I'm gonna, I guess I might just glue a magnet to the top of it so I can use my magnet routine to put it up on the thing, or I might make up a bracket for it. I don't know, little mount. But the magnet thing is a lot easier. But I wouldn't want to do it off center because I've gotten in trouble for that. Woe be unto me if I have an off center screw in the handles of my brushes. People will, next thing I know, every little noise is the center patrol coming to take me away. So, alright, nice smooth shave, except for that nick on my lip. It just will not quit. And I mean, it is just the tiniest little nick. My goodness. So I hope you guys all had a good Wednesday. Or as that one commercial says, hump day. So it's all downhill from here, fellas. Tomorrow should be a good day because I haven't gotten anything on the docket. No doors to change, no lawns to mow, no mulch to spread. But the night is young, and the missus could get a phone call or sit down and formulate a plan for me not to have a lazy day tomorrow. We all know how that goes. So I'll get cleaned up here a little bit. And a little bit of the old Alt Innsbruck. If you guys haven't ever tried this, it is one of my favorites. A little pricey, but I believe worth it. Most people have an atomizer. It doesn't have a reducer in it. I'm always just real careful with it. Put a little bit in my palms. But it is just a very nice, long-lasting scent hangs around. I don't know. I guess Barber Dave would be a better judge on. I would almost say it's almost a scent strength and longevity would be on par with the Eau de Toilette. And it's got tobacco flower and other things. It's a real creamy, smooth vanilla maybe. I don't know the scent notes in it. I just know I really like it. Good stuff. If you ever get a chance to try it, take advantage of that. I think it's good stuff. So 25 minutes. Oh God, and I'm not even being very thorough. It was just a long drawn out story about Lafayette. So you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.